Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, we have heard some news on possible merger talk between the USFL and the XFL. One of the big keys right now is the TV deals. The XFL has a 5-year TV deal with Disney that have their games aired on ESPN, FX, ABC, and ESPN+, while USFL had a deal with Fox Sports and NBC. If they can find a way to merge those two deals or just do one or the other, I think that's kind of the sticking point. Now, if we look at this past 2023 season, XFL ran from February 19th, the week after the Super Bowl, through May 13th. USFL ran from April 15th through July 1st after playoffs. They were done at the end of July. I like it. I like having one spring football league, have it run through the summer. You don't necessarily have to start right after the Super Bowl. You could start April-ish and run through July. One thing is, if you look at the teams, from what I was reading, there's talk of basically just merging the two together. There is kind of an oversaturated market in Texas, but there are former XFL areas you can go back to. So the USFL was in the Michigan Panthers and Philadelphia Stars. They played at Ford Field in Detroit. The New Jersey Generals and the Pittsburgh Maulers played at Canton, Ohio, at Hall of Fame Stadium. Birmingham Stallions and New Orleans Breakers played at Birmingham, Alabama. And then the Houston Gamblers and Memphis Showboats played in Memphis, Tennessee. The XFL had the DC Defenders, the Seattle Sea Dragons, St. Louis BattleHawks, the Vegas Vipers, Houston Roughnecks. So you'd have two franchises in Houston. And you have the Arlington Renegades. Now, the last year there was an XFL in 2020, it was the Dallas Renegades, and the San Antonio Brahmas, Orlando Guardians. So two Houston teams, an Arlington, and the San Antonio. It could be done. There were 3 franchises that were in 2020 for the XFL that didn't come back. Tampa Bay Vipers, the Vegas Vipers replaced them. Los Angeles Wildcats and the New York Guardians. So the Orlando Guardians replaced the New York Guardians, and then the Los Angeles Wildcats were replaced by the San Antonio Brahmas. You definitely want to get back to New York because you have Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh. You kind of want those big cities like that. Maybe even put a franchise in Chicago. Why not? I think it would work. I think it would be good for football to have that one spring, summer kind of football. Then you have college, then you have the CFL. Now, at the beginning of the year, I'd actually done a video because last year there was talks of the CFL and XFL doing a merger. Those talks fell off when, in 2022, the XFL wasn't ready to come back yet after being purchased by Dwayne Johnson. That video I talked about doing a collaboration with CFL, and then at that time XFL in one half and USFL in the other half. So you could still do that kind of collaboration and kind of work it where the CFL runs from February through September, so you don't go against the NFL at all. And you'd have the USFL/XFL kind of a little smaller version of that, so the whole 22 weeks, a little smaller version, run 16 games or whatever. But the idea would be, during the CFL games, you would see, let's call it the XFL. You see commercials and whatnot. Maybe have some players there, kind of, commentary, kind of play, not play-by-play, but kind of the color guys, and vice versa. Then, when there are games on for both the USFL or the XFL and the CFL, you would do like the Saturday game might be XFL, the Sunday games might be CFL, or do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday kind of deal. Have CFL teams come to the U.S., play their games in an XFL stadium, and vice versa. Have the XFL go to Canada and play. So you might have a Toronto Argonauts and Winnipeg Blue Bombers game in Orlando, for instance, and the Orlando Guardians and San Antonio Brahmas, they're playing in Hamilton, to kind of get the USFL, XFL fans kind of a taste of that CFL and vice versa. I know the rules are different, so you really couldn't play head-to-head, but you could at least play on their field. So yeah, the CFL has a 110-yard field, you bring that, you could just repaint the lines and make sure you be able to do that at, a stadium here or vice versa, to give those fans a taste of, hey, this is also out there. Definitely check this out on TSN or wherever you want to look at it at. This past season on picks, I was identical across the board, 67 and 62, XFL, USFL. I don't know how I did that. So USFL this past season, all the games I previewed every week right here on Robert Sports Show. USFL was 25 and 18 on straight up picks. XFL 23 and 20. Against the spread in the USFL was 21 and 22. Against the spread in the XFL 22 and 21. Over under in the USFL 21 and 22. Over under in the XFL 22 and 21. 67 and 62 overall in both. 51.9%. So a possible merger with USFL, XFL. I like the idea. One spring football in the United States, pair with the CFL. The CFL kind of changed their schedule. Actually, I wrote down here, February 19th through July 30th. So you don't go, that way you have the Grey Cup in August. For the CFL, then the USFL, XFL, you could have their championship game the week before. That way, when it comes to week one of college football, there's no CFL, there's no XFL. That's my thoughts on it. We'll see if it happens. If it does, we'll definitely talk about it here on Robert Sports Show. As always, don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.